is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, coming at you with a different take on mono green earthbending. I just wanted to I'm not out here trying to tell you guys that this is like the next meta deck. Ooh, I broke the meta, clickbaity, 100% win con. No, but if you're trying to play mono green and try to play some of the new cards and see how they fit in and test out new strategies, this is definitely like a good entry point. And frankly, I've been getting like some insanely fun wins. The key point that I want to make here is that Earthbending, personally, I think is the most broken of the bendings. Airbending is a close second. The rest doesn't even factor. I feel like maybe firebending is one of those that is missing some bits and pieces and is going to get broken later. It's the kind of thing that might get broken like in more eternal formats with deeper card pools. But as things stand today, like even the ley line decks that maybe firebending student would have fit into aren't even playing firebending student a lot of the time. So yeah, earthbending. Why do I think it's the most broken? It's the first time that green, at least since I've been playing Magic, has a this insanely good comeback mechanic. Often the problem with green is no matter how fast you go, they hit you with a sweeper, and then what? Yes, it has a couple of hasty creatures. Yes, there's a lot of things like, I don't know, they've tried in the past, like the Paul Patch Recruit, where like removing things, or Surak, opponent does single target removal, and it's good for you in some way. They 2-for-1 every time. Whereas a sweeper, there isn't much kind of heroic intervention things happening right now where, like, let's say all of my creatures gain indestructible, plus a lot of the sweepers exile, and we have things like Ultima and so on, where, you either get them dead by like turn 4 or it's not gonna do it. But Earthbending, Ultima currently in standard is the only thing that cleanly deals with earthbending because the turn ends. Everything else, the creature, the land, will just come back. So if you build your deck with that in mind, there's the Secret Tunnel and Ba Sing Se that earthbends your creatures, plus a couple of other spells that I'm about to show you, where like even in the most floodiest of flood games, the opponent hits you with that sweeper, and as long as you've gotten in for enough damage in the early bit of the game, that reach you need to close things out can be obtained with something as simple as Ba Sing Se and any basic land, and a couple of enchantments that really help that strategy along. So, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. A fresh one. I've just like because I took the best of one list that I had made, version 1, ran it a bunch. I was upwards of 30 games. Win rates were all over the place. I had like multiple versions. Then I made a best of 3 deck, so I copied that one, made a sideboard. If you want to see the best of 3, please sound off in the comments. But this is a fresh, stats-wise on my untapped version of the best of 1, and here we are. So, of course, it's a Badger Mold deck, right? It's everywhere. If you don't, you might as well abuse it before they ban it, in my opinion. 23 lands, because we could honestly probably go down to 22, thanks to all of this Badger Mold nonsense. But, like I said, the key here is this. I want to showcase the Earthbendy cards. Main one, Rockalatch. This has got me so many times. It's making me think that I should probably splash, yeah? Like, get another color in there, maybe black, just for some better removal. Maybe white. The black has better mana. Maybe Golgari, but the removal... Sorry, Gruul, but maybe the red the red Earthbending cards or the Gruul Earthbending cards aren't bad. And I've got something lined up. Sorry, my OCD there. For future video, but I thought, like, let's just stick to mono green for a very good reason. Rockalanche. First card I want to highlight. Sorcery, less than 3 mana. Earthbend X, where X is the number of forests you control. Yeah? So this will, of course, be okay with things like the Shocklands, because they count as both types. But yeah, dedicated green is probably the way to go. This can be just like late game, you top deck this and you make a hasty friggin' whatever. You know, you've flooded, you're just drawing. Opponent hits your opponent with a sweeper, your Ouroboroids are gone, you've got nothing with haste. Oh look, Rockalanche. Make a secret tunnel into a friggin' 6/6 and swing in for the kill. Then, other Earthbendy cards, of course. Badgermole, we all know what that does. And then Earthbender Ascension, which is making me, more than all of these cards I've just talked about, think about the splash. Because, you know, there's already a pretty good landfall deck trying to splash various colors, especially in best of 3. Simic, most popular, maybe Temur, and also, of course, Gruul with the World Soul's Rage. There's, yeah, this can go in many places, which is a thing. I've got a few people I chat to privately on Discord for like deck suggestions and things, almost like my Patreons in a sense. By the way, link in the description. The what was I saying? Yeah, whenever I you know, it's people that tend to have, which I think is a very general thing, like the vast majority of people that play Arena never make it to Mythic. They just enjoy playing the game and they're sitting around Diamond and down. Mostly because they have better things to do with their life and they don't want to spend any money, and so they don't have the Mythic wildcards to just go and get the whole set and whatnot. So each investment in a new deck has to be taken very carefully. What if I'm blowing my Mythics on a Legend of Kyoshi and then it's a total piece of crap and I've just wasted my chance to get a good deck for the season, you know? So this is the kind of one where you could totally just say, look, let's not craft Kyoshi, and you could up the 3 drops into 4 drops and the 2 drop into a 3 drop, and you'd be fine, because the rest of the cards here are all multi-deck, flexible, safe crafts. Badgermole, of course, tops that list. Like, if you craft 4 copies of Badgermole, it'll immediately slot into a pretty much any deck in Standard right now that plays green is playing 4 copies of this thing, and the worst case scenario, they'll ban it and you get 4 Mythic wildcards back. Ouroboroid, same thing. Earthbender Ascension can go in landfall in many different color combinations. Everything else is common or uncommon. So the only real one here that's a bit of a is the Legend, but I want to make my case here. This is a sweet card. Draw cards equal to the number, to the greatest power equal among creatures you control. So often you play this, it's the final card you play. You've done your whole thing, it's the last thing you're holding in your hand, and then you've got like Ouroboroids made up, whatever. You've got some, even if it's just like a 3/3 from an Earthbending or something. 3 cards in green off the top with more upside later is phenomenal. Chapter 2, you Earthbend X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So of course, the more cards you have when that hits, the better. It'll trigger after you've drawn for your turn. So even, you know, usually it's like 3 or 4 Earthbending, which is nice, especially considering we have Terra Symbiosis in the deck. And then the final chapter, you get, you know, it does the transform or the flip, and you get Avatar Kyoshi, which is obviously great in an Earthbending deck because it gives all your lands trample and hexproof, and tap X mana of one color where X is the group. That's neither here nor there. I'm sure someone else will use that ability, but for the sake of this deck, what we really want is just the card draw and the Earthbending. Avatar Kyoshi hasn't gotten to actually attack profitably once in upwards of 30 games of the deck. But it's a nice top end. I'm just thinking maybe we can trim one and go up a Terra Symbiosis or something. I just really want to draw it so you guys get to see it in action. And that's, you know, segue into the best of 3 version where you can start off with a lot of these like 4-ofs and things and then trim some numbers of the less important cards to bring in Graveyard Hate, whatever it is that you might need. And that's clearly what's lacking in the deck. We've got some artifact enchantments, a hate, which honestly, this is probably one of the best versions of a card like this we've seen in a long time. There's been like, I quite like the Tarkir one, because there's always like one extra mode. This one exiles a card from a graveyard, draw a card. That's pretty good, but it doesn't do the thing that I'm needing most in this mono green deck, which is the Snakeskin Veil-ish vibe. I leave it up to my subscribers to just let me know whether the Veil might be better because of the hexproof, but it doesn't give indestructible. This puts a +1/+1 counter, which triggers your Terra Symbiosis, which triggers, you know, I love putting it on my Ouroboroid to give extra oomph before the trigger. There's lots going on with it, and the flexibility of also just being able to destroy targets artifact or enchantments for 2 mana instant speed has been great. So testing that out. My removal spell is hard-hitting question because it also does planeswalkers. Nothing much else to add here other than hopefully we can secret tunnel the opponents out of some sweet games. Best of 1 ladder, super late season. If you want some best of 3, let me know. We go. Got a cold if you can't tell. I really apologize for any sort of snotty noises you might hear. I'll keep some toilet paper handy in case a sneeze comes on. Perfect hand. The only thing that would make this better if I was on the plane. Green? Red with wow. Well, I've not seen any of that. Ooh, really worried for what's called fire magic. So for that reason, please don't kill me. Is any target? Okay. Am I going to be able to... No. 1 is the most I'll get this turn, so yes, I'll draw a card. Thanks. Face. Bye. That was about as off meta as you get, so let's see how we fare against some more tier decks. I really want to draw a secret tunnel so I can use the new voice lines I've purchased to my detriment probably in terms of gem reserves, but it's been fun. Secret tunnel! When I actually earthbend a secret tunnel, unblockable, baby! Coming through. Like the best thing I've done with this deck is just like Ouroboroiding a secret tunnel to infinity and just swinging at them unblockable. I don't know what I think, like, in terms of graveyard hate for green, are we still just, like, playing vacuums, or should I play the, raccoon? Let me know in the comments. Ew! Secret tunnel! Tap land, tap land, tap land, tap. Oh, it's the mirror. Okay, wait. Ooh. Okay, will he take the hard-hitting question? That is the question. Big mistake, buddy. Coming through. Yeah, you don't have the mana for that. Yeah, you do. You do. Frankly, the damage has been done. I've ramped enough. Auto tapper is just terrible. Surely this is a Badger Mole deck as well, and they just... Please give me a... Ouroboroid. Okay. Bye. Bye-bye. Did we draw an Ouroboroid? It's become like, wow, best of one. Who draws the most Ouroboroids wins the match. Not necessarily in that last one, but it's felt like that in many, many games. Can I draw a Kyoshi, please? There's 3 of them in the deck. Thanks, Shuffler. I'd love to show it to my lovely subscribers. Opa. Feel like the best one so far. Okay, we've got an Ouroboroid. No Badger, but we may draw a Badger. This person's trying the Gruul variant. Badger? No Badger. God, I hope I draw one. Blaggett. Ouroboroid. Badger. I'll use Earthbending, just straight up. Nice. Ayo! Use up your other removal spell on my Badger, please, instead of playing a Ouroboroid of your own. Ooh, Temur! Wet Gruul. That is not something you see every day. Oppo is cooking. Okay, well that gives me an unimpeded Ouroboroid. Second one off the top. It's kind of this like crazy card. Like if they don't sweep now, which they could, explosive whatever Majiggy. Sweet. Huh, I got another. So Earthbend away, my friend. Oh, should we go Kyoshi? Nah, that, like I said, that's the card that we do. As the final card in your deck. And you just pray that they don't have some sort of a sweeper now. Although we would get to... what's it called? Explosive whatever. Yep. So my lands will actually just come back now. That's a clever little chap though. Ah, you're a smart boy. I'm gonna draw 4. Secret tunnel! I really need Ba Sing Se. We're gonna draw 4 minimum. That's 2 Dragonback Assaults. That's a cool idea. Another way of going about it. But I'm about to get trampled. I think I'm okay. Jamal. Secret tunnel!
Secret tunnel!
Really to just drive the point home. Let's draw 1,000,000 too. Goose off, rubber. How do you like them apples? Exactly, spot on, smack bang what the deck is supposed to do. I would love to play another 10 games with this for you guys, but it's like way past my bedtime, and I'm trying to keep some energy in these droopy eyeballs to watch the Formula 1 Grand Prix in Qatar, which is in like 45 minutes. I'm gonna go make myself a coffee and try and actually keep my eyes awake to see the start of the race. So I'm gonna have to love you and leave you, but I think I've done my job in showcasing what the brew is capable of. And we got to play Kyoshi there in the final match. Definitely doing, again, what he's meant to do. The first 2 triggers are what you're after. If you can actually get Kyoshi on the board, it's definitely win more. You give all of your Earthbend lands trample and hexproof so they can't, you know, get... As if it wasn't bad enough that they're essentially unkillable. Good luck getting rid of them now. Plus, they got trample. So yeah. Please, sound off in the comments. How would you build this differently? What color should we splash? Would you like to see best of 3? I'll leave that to you. That is going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be seeing you all in the next one with another fresh brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.
Woo!